What is up on this Friday morning? Man, I'll tell you what. I am super stoked for this fight this weekend, and so I am going to go ahead and do my UFC 257 picks. So I'm going to get right into it, guys. So just an FYI, when I do make these picks, of the ones that I indicate that I will be putting my money down, I will actually be putting my money down on these fights. So I have absolute 100% confidence in my picks, and I will live or die by the sword. So getting started, I'm going to start right with the main event. Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. I actually think that this is a great rematch. Obviously they fought 6 years ago, I believe it was. And of course, Conor McGregor was really coming onto the scene strongly. I believe that this was the fight just before he fought Chad Mendes. And I think both fighters have improved significantly. I honestly think that Dustin Poirier is going to be quite a bit more to handle this time around. I do believe, though, that although Poirier will probably put up a better fight, and actually, Poirier, man, I'll tell you, he is a funny one because, I've seen him get knocked out, and he's lost to some fighters that he should have not lost to. But at the same time, though, he only has just a few losses anyways. So what I'm trying to get at is I think that this is going to be a good fight. But I think that Conor McGregor is still going to catch him. And I think that Conor McGregor is still going to get him out of there. Because the way that Dustin Poirier loses by knockout is exactly the way that Conor McGregor wins his fights. May not be in the first 60 seconds like he predicts. It's definitely going to happen. I will not be putting money on this because, again, Dustin Poirier is no slouch. He is number 2 for a reason. He's knocked out Justin Gaethje. He's knocked out Dan Hooker. I mean, it's going to be a good fight. But I got McGregor by knockout. Moving on to the co-main event, this is another fight that I'm really looking forward to. Michael Chandler versus Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker is one of those New Zealand guys, part of Adesanya's camp, and boy, there's some good. They got some good strikers coming out of that camp. I know Brad Riddell is another guy that I've got my eye on. He comes out of that camp, and he's a beast. And Dan Hooker, man, he did lose to Poirier in his last fight, pretty handily. It was a decent fight up until Poirier pretty much took him out, but. I think Dan Hooker is going to be. How do I go with this? I think Michael Chandler is going to be exactly what Michael Chandler always is, in his face, throwing bombs, man. Michael Chandler is a fun guy to watch, man. He's very explosive, great wrestler, but man, I'll tell you what, man, he throws bombs. And to be perfectly honest with you, although I would say that Dan Hooker is probably the more technical striker, I think Michael Chandler is going to get a knockout here. I think we're in for a night of knockouts, especially in the co-main and the main event. But I got Michael Chandler by knockout, and I also will not be putting any money on this fight just because of the unknowns. I never put my money where there's too many unknowns. As much as I'd love to bet on the guy that I like the most, just doesn't always pay off that way. So I got Michael Chandler by knockout, and I think it's going to be a big bomb. I think it's going to be one of those fold 'em up knockouts by Michael Chandler, and I think it'll be great. It'll be nice to get some new blood in there, and Michael Chandler is a good dude to be in there. So looking forward to that one. Next up, I believe, is the Joanne Calderwood-Jessica Eye fight. Let me just make sure that is the order in which these are. Yeah, so Not super thrilled about this fight. It's not anything against the women or anything like that. It's just, I mean, Jessica Ai has not really done that well in most recent history here. I think that she's definitely in a more winnable fight this time around. Joanne is a kickboxer from Scotland, but I believe she trains at SBC Ireland with Conor McGregor. She's decent, but she's not your knock him out, you know, TKO type fighter. I believe this fight will go to a decision. And you know what, I got Jessica Ai winning this fight by decision. Yeah, I think Jessica Ai will eke this one out by a slim split decision. Moving on, Amanda Rivas and Mariana Rodriguez. I got Amanda Rivas. I think it's going to be a good fight. Amanda Rivas is fun. She's a good new personality in the UFC. Attractive, got a great personality, interviews well. I think if she can win this fight, which I think she will, I think she could be a potential female star in the UFC. She definitely has a lot of things going for her. So I'm going to go with Amanda Rivas by submission. Yeah, I think she's going to get a submission, and we might have a new star in our hands. So we'll see about that. And then the next fight is Andrew Sanchez versus Mahmoud Muradov. I apologize. I need to study up more on some of these guys, because although I know Andrew Sanchez from The Ultimate Fighter, solid wrestler, good fighter, I don't know a whole lot about Muradov, but those Russian guys are pretty crazy. The Russian guys seem to be pretty good. So I'm gonna. Sorry, Andrew. I'm gonna have to go with the Russian on this one, and I'm gonna go via TKO. Yeah, this is just me basing off of really nothing. Definitely not. Actually, I'm not betting on any of the main card fights. So you know, hoping for some good ones, but no money on the main card fights. The fight that I will talk about on the undercard here, Khalil Roundtree Jr. versus Martin Prachnio, I think it is. I am going to be putting money on Khalil Roundtree. Khalil Roundtree has made leaps and bounds in his improvement, especially since going over to Thailand and polishing up on his Muay Thai game. He is a pretty damn good striker, and the boy can crack. I have seen his opponent fight a couple of times, and I feel very comfortable. I'll be putting about $50 down on Khalil Roundtree. I haven't taken a look at the odds, actually. And I also have not placed my bets yet, which I will this morning. But my money is going to go on Khalil Roundtree. I feel like he is going to get a win here. So yeah, that is one of the fights that I'm going to put money on. My next fight that I'll cover here, and then I'll kind of leave it at that. There's quite a few fights on this card, but I'm only going to go over a couple here. But Brad Tavares and Antonio Carlos Jr. I'm going to put $20 down on Brad Tavares. I'm actually going to parlay. So I'm going to do Brad Tavares and Khalil Roundtree for a parlay. So I'm going to do $70 for both of those two to win. And so hopefully that'll give me a pretty, pretty decent payout and make a little bit of cash. Makes the fights, fun. Gives me a little extra added excitement and joy. So I hope you guys all enjoy the fights, and yeah, I appreciate Dana White also to really making 2020 enjoyable during this pandemic. So thank you, Dana White, and you all have a wonderful Friday.